Because creeps and this Lycan gets farmed by 15 minutes, I think they will push towers even quicker than the DK and Jug, and I think they'll win the lane phase.
I think I'm gonna stick with Liquid still here. I like the draft. The last pick for me, I was thinking in my head like Troll, DK, and a couple of these like semi carries. I'm gonna stick with them.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Liquid. Grant, sorry about that one.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, their team fight seems I mean, against the boat, maybe not that stronger, but they have enough sustain with the healing ward and 2 cores, which are really hard to kill.
Liquid for me as well, but as you guys are saying, we're gonna keep our eyes out for the Axe.
Axe is the big.
Find out what is going to happen during the laning phase and during the further stages of the game, as it is time for the game. So let's head over to the commentary duo of Moxie and Lizard.
Straight to the bottom side.
All right, thank you so much, Shiver, and we're excited to be here. Lizard, we got a great game today. I love the opening that they just had too. Everybody looks like they're having a lot of fun.
Definitely, and when it comes to these 2 drafts, they don't look like it's way too much fun involved, to be honest. Like, we have these 2 drafts with so much tankiness, like it's crazy. On one side you have this Axe, you have this Kunkka. Like, just look at this mid lane, Kunkka versus Dragonite. Like, you don't even have to watch that lane. Like, no one's killing anyone there.
Which is good though, because I feel like Kunkka is super, super strong right now. I've got a friend who can't play him at all and just totally dominated with that here.
One of the reasons why Dragonite has been picked here, obviously, it fits their lineup very well. It's a well-rounded lineup for Team Liquid, but at the same time, it's a hero that can deal with Kunkka. Like, you can stay on that lane without any worries. Arrow?
Oh, they get the hit, but they don't have quite enough damage. They will just chunk away a little bit over here at Boxy.
Yeah, they're actually giving him some retaliate stacks as well.
That is true.
That Centaur is one happy little camper right now.
All part of the plan. Mid lane, like we said, it's just going to be quite fun. Gunner just slapping each other. Not going to see probably too much action unless we get any sort of rotation, and even then, it's still going to be pretty hard to take both of these guys down.
We'll pretty much see the similar builds as well, both of them going for those bracers that Lacoste mentioned. It's not only on the offlaners that you can get the bracers, you can also take them on some mid laners, such as Kunkka and Dragonite, obviously.
Bottom lane, taking a little bit of damage here. Taiga, those wolves, they really do a lot of...
Wolves, you also have that Basilisk on the Mirana there. Oh, forgotten bounty rune picked by Taiga.
GG for getting the runes. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I think this is probably the best lane to look at. Let's see if the arrow is there now. Mirana is just pulling instead. It's kind of hard to go on Jug here. You can disrupt him, but he can spin out of it. You have to have that arrow perfectly on top of the disruption, which can be a little bit trickier right now as that arrow has been changed. And basically, like, you can still set it up, but if you haven't played Mirana the last, let's say, a week or so, like, you can mess it up too.
That arrow timing is definitely a lot more... I don't want to say it's more difficult, but it definitely, like they said, like Fox said, it's
Here we go. Arrow.
Bottom lane, you know, if you can be out of sight, this should be a first blood, I think, no?
Nah, look at them just running to help their teammate. Like, both of them just disregarding the creeps. Let's go. Let's help this line out. We don't want anyone to die here to the disruption and arrow.
That's too funny because we were watching earlier on and they kept, you know, showing Taiga and we're like, he's so precious. Look at him. He's just got that baby face. Protect Taiga, guys.
Most certainly does. What's happening on the mid lane? 12 CS for Kunkka, 9 for DK, pretty even so far. But this is the action-packed lane. This bottom lane is where the action will happen, definitely.
Yeah, the top lane feels like what we call the gentleman's agreement, where it's like, all right, you're going to get farm, I'm going to get farm, and we'll see who can do the most with it once we get that 6. And they're set up over here. Arrow's going to get thrown out. Getting the spin. They'll turn back around. Slow down Peter. Can they get this? This should be the first blood now. One more hit will do the trick, and that's going to go to Mickey.
I just love the way they played that. The disruption into the arrow completely blocked by Mickey. He just spins in front of the arrow, eats it. It doesn't stun him, obviously, as he's immune to the stun. And then they go on to the Shadow Demon with the Inkswell. By the way, Inkswell on the Juggernaut is a scary thing in the laning stage. You spin, you still have that Inkswell on you, affecting PPD, and then it stuns him out. Let's see if they can do it again.
Another setup, not going to be able to go and block that arrow this time around. Decent amount of damage getting thrown out onto Insania. Should be able to walk away here.
Still, though, I have to say that NIP, they're doing a really good job on this lane so far, even though they fed that first blood, as Lycan is farming. And the problem for this lane is, like, you don't have this...
Oh, the Marana, the spin is on. Looks like they're not going to hard commit on this right now. We'll just push Mika back. Another disruption. Here comes the arrow, and that's going to land right on target. That's another kill coming out here for the side of NIP.
So what's an action-packed lane? Like, this is how you have to play it if you're NIP. You have to keep them low. You have to keep them at around 50% so that you can finish them off after that arrow lands, as that's your only real disable there. Like, disruption is obviously used for the setup, and Lycan, he doesn't really offer a whole lot in these team fights early on. He just offers damage, and that's it. But in 1 minute, things might change as nighttime starts and Lycan is much stronger. You can even think about rotating somewhere else and leaving him on a dual lane here.
Might even want to put some pressure on that top lane. And again, you can see Universe and Boxy duking it out a little bit. I did like, if you notice, one of those camps was blocked up with a sentry from the side of Liquid. And I think that's very smart because you know that Axe is going to try to just keep jungling over there, try to pull the creeps.
You actually have to do that. And I'm surprised that...
Ooh, it's a good time. Can we get a couple spins here?
Unlucky.
Bottom lane again. Looks like Mika. He's taking a lot of right-click damage here, though.
I like how he's
scary.
I like how he started as well. Boots into chainmail. That chainmail is so good on the offlane as you can buy it. Still one of the last remaining items that you can buy. That side shop. That side shop has been abandoned. They should close it up. Just close the shop, go home, and there's nothing there that's valuable.
It's like those malls that you see. Oh, they were trying to get Insania here, and this is kind of scary for me. Like, I like seeing Insania on heroes that provide some sort of a save or heal. Especially, you know, thinking about his Oracle. This hero, not quite the same capabilities. You know, you have the Inkswell kind of that helps out, but
doesn't have really any built-in saves. But you do get a lot of gold playing Grimstroke, and that's good because you have that 90 GPM talent. You also just farm very well with your stroke. So because of that, you can invest in some Glimmer Cape or something similar. You'll have that gold to invest into the saving items, and Insania really plays a mean Grimstroke. By the way, 5th minute mark, 4 bounty runes taken for NIP. A pretty decent win for them.
I would definitely say so.
Also, speaking about these blocked camps, I'm surprised they didn't block the hard camp. That Universe didn't do that with his Axe. Usually, if you're creep skipping as Axe and you're playing one-on-one, you want to block that hard camp so that the enemy core can't really abuse it. But it looks like Universe is the one that's farming it at the moment, so all's good.
I'm so excited to see Universe back on a professional team. I missed him on the scene for sure. Very excited to see what he can do with this Axe. Another setup here down in the bottom lane. Mika getting into position. He manages to get the spin on the time. He can't afford to get taken down here. Nice start coming out from Taiga. Is it going to be enough though? Can they keep Mika alive? You have the Inkswell. They'll turn it back around. Can they get the kill on Lycan? No! It's going to be Mika who goes down first, then Skeeter who gets out. Taiga now bottom here trying to run away from these wolves. Needs to get out a little bit faster though as they found their prey and they're going to keep on biting away at Insania before returning to
Beyond the grave, he gets 2 kills with those wolves, so it's still worth it for him. But I need to say, like you're watching that action, he messed up a little bit with Jug. He moved into the arrow, but he didn't spin because he did not realize that he's actually there yet. He thought that he has to get a little bit up front. He eats that arrow, but when Lycan got to him, Lycan regened so much. They tried to turn on him with the spin and with the Inkswell. They thought, all right, this Lycan is dead. But no, that Lycan has a headdress, Ring of Health, and it's nighttime. So much region, like he was just not being heard there at all.
That was very, very close. So very nicely done, though, knowing your limitations on the side of NIP.
Now he has that Dominator to work with as well. And I remember Peril talking about... Peril.
Bottom lane again. Goes for the stomp. Doesn't connect here. Another kill coming out for this Lycan.
Boxy had to rotate here because at this point you're not stronger any longer. Like during the daytime, during the daylight, you can pressure this Lycan, but once the night falls, he gets that Dominator, you just have to abandon ship. You have to go somewhere else.
There's a big stack over there on the side of NIP too.
Yeah, you have your axe, you have the Kunkka as well that are able to clear it, so...
That's great. That's absolutely great.
Stampede.
Stampede's going to use bottom lane. Oh, it looks like they managed to get Skeeter.
That's
They'll take him
one
out.
big centaur. Plus, what's wrong with Retaliate besides that it gives you like 300 damage 8 minutes in? Just a casual spell.
Oh, top lane. Looks like Universe might be in for some trouble. There's going to be Inkswell. The spin comes out. And looks like Mickey having to back out a little bit, using up one of those healing cells. In comes Peter. He's trying to provide some backup, pushes Taiga back.
Listen, if you give offlaners one-on-one to free farm for the first... Let's just see if Taiga is going to fall here.
I don't know. That arrow came dangerously close to Mickey, though, on the top lane.
Has sticks. He's fine. If you give these offlaners a free time for 8 minutes, you're not killing them after, just don't try. You're a level 3 Lion, you're not doing anything.
Oh, Mickey walks right into the arrow. He doesn't realize that everybody's waiting on top of the steps for him. And Universe getting himself a kill.
Yeah, Mickey is having a really rough time at the moment. Like on that offlane, alright, he pressured the Lycan a little bit, but definitely it's NIP in full control of this match at the moment.
Who's scarier right now? Is the Centaur scarier or the Axe?
I'd say the Centaur for now. He contributes to his team a little bit more. You have the Stampede to work with. He can push on his own, and that's a little bit better for your team. As you have that exactly. Case in point. Use that retaliate, tank the tower as well. You have the Vanguard. You pretty much cannot die at this point. So just take one tier 1, then pressure the tier 2, force them to go to the Radiant jungle, and perhaps alleviate the pain that Taiga is feeling right now, as he's been pressured hard.
Look at this army up top. You've got your wolves, you've got the Hill Troll Priest. Got everything. Or that's a summoner, right? Priest is the other one. He managed to take that middle lane tower, though.
It's the summoner. That and Snare is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, that and Snare is really good in this game too, the web.
Oh, they took bottom tower. Okay. Hoifa, spotted out by Peter. Gonna open up with that disruption. And there's going to be a nice torrent connecting. They'll be able to get the call out. Boats coming through. So the 3-on-1. And there's going to be some support being thrown out from Insania. They almost get the kill on Koi, but they don't quite have that Inkswell coming in handy here.
The Soul Catcher wore off as well, so he gets some more HP there and he runs away. Beaver, however, is not as lucky, as his leap charges ran out. He ran out short and he dies to the Centaur.
Gotta watch this carefully.
Overall, though, it's about this Lycan, and when he starts pressuring, he has the Dominator, he's moving into the Necro. I'm actually interested in seeing what he's going to build afterwards. I've seen a lot of players in pubs recently on a high MMR just go for that Axe. It allows you to scale so fast, it's crazy. You feed a lot of gold, but you become this snowball machine so fast that you just take high ground. But you can also do that with a couple of Necro books, too.
They spot a Lycan down here, and although looks like Skeeter is going to just go into the wolf form, try to run himself out. He's he's so fast, even hexed up.
Did you see the way he was farming? That's just so careful of him and so well played. He's on the low ground with his hero while the creeps are farming the high ground. So he's breaking the smoke on his own. Usually for that play to happen, you need to have a support next to you, and he eats the gank. He's the feeding position 5, right? But in this situation, he's replaced the position 5. You don't really need Peter anymore. Just move him to coach. Let him chill.
So this is pretty big right now. We did just get the Blink Dagger picked up for this Axe. So you can bet that they're going to be trying to find themselves some kind of a gank here. And it looks like they've got their eyes on the bottom. That's just a hard target, though. Like, Boxy is a big boy.
I think they can take him down, but what worries me, he's so close to the tier 1. This might backfire.
Good, they're going to open up with that X-Boat combo. Jump forward, coming out from Universe, showing off the blink, but they'll be able to go get the Soulbind off. Then there's the double finger. They just don't have enough damage. Boxy trying to run himself out here. Taiga sitting dangerously low, hiding over into the tree line. Universe searching for him, decides to back off. Again, there is that tier 1 up here in the bottom lane for Liquid. The torrent connects. Are they going to go for it? Yeah, Universe, he wants it. He goes in and gets that done.
I think if he just ran to the tower,
they're still going. We're not done yet. Battle Hunger thrown out on Boxy plus the X.
There's a healing ward. They're not taking this bad boy down. Taiga, he might die, he might fall with his lion, but you're not taking down the centaur. Overall, it's such a difficult kill. These offlaners, like, after 12 minutes, it's like they used everything on him, but at the same time, that boat connected. So the Ram was affecting Gunner and the Shadow Demon, and that double finger did absolutely nothing in the fight. Okay, phase boots. 13 minutes in, that's a rough spot to be in.
He doesn't sound pleased about that.
He's at the end of the pack when it comes to cores, the poorest core in the game right now, just above Mirana. Not really feeling great, and when you're playing Jug, you really want to be in front. The good thing, however, for him is his healing ward benefits his team quite a lot. So
we saw that in that fight.
Exactly. So at least he contributes a little bit, I suppose, but he's not really in the place where he'd like to be. Level 7 only, not great.
Oh, they smoked underneath the ward. They didn't realize it. You can tell now they've got to be very, very careful. They make their way over. Arrow, not going to quite connect here. There's a jump forward, though, coming up from Universe. Followed up by the Soulbind. They'll be able to go take down Taiga. Can they get Koifa, though, as they keep chasing after here? They will eventually split off. They'll find the kill on Insania. The X-Mars comes out. They've got the Moonlight Shadow online. Koifa trying to run himself out. He is tanky, though. And they seem to just be trying to ignore Boxy as much as possible, but they're very split right now. Gunner has to be a little bit careful. The jump forward again, coming out from Universe. Manages to go and grab himself a Centaur. The rest of the team doesn't feel quite so sure about this. They did place down a sentry. They can see them here. Starfall comes out. Disruption, maybe a little bit of miscommunication there.
Yeah, he had no mana, but he had sticks. But it didn't matter because the cooldown was there for the arrow too. And they do defend the tier 1. They lose a couple of lives in the process, but I think this is a good play by Liquid overall, as they just stall the game a little bit further. They need to buy time. They need to wait it out, weather out the storm at the moment, because they can't be the ones pressuring, even though they would like to do it with such a draft. The laning stage didn't go well for them, and because of that, they're just waiting for the items of the Jug to come online. After that, perhaps you can fight. More importantly, you also need levels. That Omni Slash is doing absolutely nothing in these fights. He didn't even use it because it won't affect anything. Like, you have Wolves, you have this summons from the Lycan, obviously, you have disrupted illusions popping out. Axe, like, you're not going to hurt him, so they just need to wait.
You can tell they're really strongly protecting their mid tower too on the side of Liquid. So they took a really nice fight there, but unfortunately, you know, they're actually getting objectives, and that's kind of what you want to have happen every time that you take a team fight, is you want to try to, you know, find something else off of it. Although top tower is going down right now.
He's been at it for quite a long time now.
They have. Arrow, do we have it? Nope, not quite yet. The leap forward though. Nice stun coming out from Taiga.
He actually had no spin. Maybe they didn't know that. Maybe the arrow was on cooldown.
Yeah, it's possible they didn't know.
Yeah, because he did not have that spin there. They could have connected with the arrow. Would they have killed him? I'm not so certain, but they definitely had a better choice.
The TP coming in, it is Koifa. He'll lose the tower though. Oh, the jump forward coming up from Universe as he drags him back into the rest of the team, into the arrow. Beautifully done. Soulbind is going to fall out though, and they'll be able to follow up with a big old boat, and they'll take down Koifa. Are they going to be able to grab themselves anyone else? Universe he's thinking about. He's got the Battle Hunger down over on Taiga. They're going to try to rotate now on Mickey.
It just feels like it's so much easier for NIP to play with.
Oh, Universe! We'll have to use the Stampede, get Mickey out.
TP. He has to go to the side shop to buy it.
Oh, it looks like Taiga got a kill on Peter while we were chasing down here.
Beaver also rotates, but overall, when you look at these two drafts, it's so much easier for NIP to play right now. Everything you have to do, like, if you're Liquid, you have to react to this. You have to itemize properly versus NIP. You have to, like, pick your fights. You have to get a couple of pickoffs. If you're NIP, just go. That's pretty much it.
Well, that's the best Dota, right? Yeah. The best Dota is the easiest Dota to execute, and right now, especially, oh, they picked up the Radiance now on Kunkka.
Like, all their items are a little bit quicker. You see Koifa, he has 3,000 gold. He's nowhere near that Radiance right now, while it's already completed on the Kunkka. So they're just one step ahead on the NIP team, and that's because their laning stage was easier and their draft is just simpler to execute.
Well, I think that's what Grant was saying on the panel, right? Grant was saying that
he's just there because it's NA. Like, that's all. Like,
wow,
NA boys, NA boys, let's
what
go.
What do you talk about my NA boys?
The ball is there.
Beautiful by Universe. Manages to grab two of them here. Gonna miss that stomp. In comes Peter. And so we'll connect, though, onto Universe. And Senia, I have a feeling he's not long for this world, especially with the rest of the team invading the jungle like that.
This should be the tier 2 on the mid lane, or they should force them back, because if you look at Liquid, they're just instantly rotating towards the bottom forest, towards the Radiant Woods. Like, all three of them. Insania got attacked, and they just started moving away. They just realized that it's not their fight to have. Like, they have to move out.
Unfortunately for the side of NIP, they didn't have that creep wave quite up just yet, so they have to wait for it to arise so they can go for that
They're
tower.
pushing out, they're perhaps trying that Centaur on the mid lane, who's a little bit hard to get, but
looks like they might have got him here, Lizard. So the torrent coming through after the arrow. Soulbind gets thrown out, but it really doesn't do much of anything when you can't follow it up.
Roche or tier 2 mid.
That's tier 2, and maybe you can go and grab that Roche. I don't know. What are they thinking?
Well, they're moving suspiciously towards Roshan, but Skitter is still around mid. Yeah.
Not with the Lycan.
Yeah, he's like,
they need their creeps, though. They don't have them just yet.
A lot of wasted time here, though.
Not the most efficient. Oh, bottom lane Universe jumping forward, although there is Taiga nearby. That Blade Nova is doing quite the number on Mickey. Run, Mickey. Get out of there. Get that healing word, Universe. He finds it. Taiga will be able to protect him a little bit more.
Then again, I wonder if it was the right decision by Skitter to use the Necros and go on the tier 2, as that Roshan was definitely an option for them. Centaur is dead, he's still dead. They would have gotten Roche. And if you take Roche, who's stopping you from taking tier 2 as well? Like, they can't fight you, you have ages. So, like, when it comes to these objectives, I always value Roche more. And you could see that the 4 of them did move towards Roche, while Lycan moved towards tier 2. But I think they're in full control.
Oh, Mickey. Lycan comes in, does manage to get the Omni Slash off. He's not dead quite yet, but there's a whole army just tanking those slashes. They'll find a kill on Peter. Can they follow a bit more? And there it is. There's the jump forward coming out from Universe. He is, and now in no man's land, though. He needs some friends to help him get him out, but Dragon Tail will connect, and that should be a dead Universe. Arrow comes through. Are they going to go back in on this? Do they have... I don't think you go back on that, your ninjas.
3 versus 4, like, you just...
Oh, Boxy, thinking about it.
Skitter also had no Wolf form there, you just had to back out. But Boxy, nah. Do you really go for the Centaur? I don't think so.
Gunna's just memeing over there.
Just messing with him a little bit. They did kill that Jug, but that Jug, he's already dead. Like how much deader can he get? You already killed him so many times. Like in the laning stage, you prevented him from farming. He's like the poorest core still. Like, how much did you get from that kill? I guess you slow down his farm a little bit further, and you just show dominance. That's what's important, you know? You have to demonstrate that you cannot farm, Jug. You mustn't even leave high ground.
It's all about those mind games, proving who's the alpha here. Do you have the Radiance picked up, though, now for the side of Liquid?
There's Radiance on Koikwa, there's also Maelstrom on Jug, so he will dish out a little bit of damage, I suppose. He might kill a Wolf for
He's not there yet. He's
not a big bad Wolf, though.
Look at this path in that pit. They're just ripping away. A nice double damage run on Gunner. They should take this Roach out very quickly. And they didn't even need to get a pick off for it.
No, they're just way too difficult. It's just way too difficult for Liquid to fight with them. This Roche falls on 20-minute mark, and BKB is queued up by Kunkka. I believe they will wait out a couple of these items before they go high ground. They can also just stroll towards the bottom lane and take these two towers that are left remaining on the low ground.
Well, they have some really nice vision, too, going on in the Dire Woods there. So they know that they're going to be farming either their jungle or the triangle. In fact, that's where you see most of the cores just spending when they're trying to catch up, right? It's just hanging out in their triangle. So I wouldn't be surprised to see some sort of a smoke, Mirana play, something to try to play some more pressure down on Mickey.
Yeah, so you go down here in the Radiant Woods, so you take down the tier 1, you ward around their secret shop as well. That's usually what you play. You just have to get them out. You just have to flush them away from your woods so they can't pressure that tier 2 any longer. But so far, Centaur is doing a good job. He's hiding in the woods, that he pops out. Boxy, that is, he pops out, he cleans a wave, which just pushes into the tier 2, and someone has to go back down there to outpush it all the time. It's either Universe on his axe, or right now it's Mirana out pushing, so... strategically, Liquid, they're still in the game, they're keeping themselves there, but NIP, they're in full control, and Liquid, they can't afford themselves to make any mistakes at the moment.
Now, I have a question for you, because now that we've got this triangle over here for Dire, does that place a higher value now on that tier 1 in the bottom? Because I know in the past, like, people say, oh, you know,
It's the same.
opposing ones, it doesn't mean that much, but it does provide a way for you to get in. If necessary.
Like
Basically,
you have to realize that you cannot shut the team down completely. Oh,
bottom lane again, waiting patiently. If they take down Boxy here, this is going to be really nice. In fact, they don't even bother with the call. They know he's stunned up for quite a while.
Surprised Universe didn't dunk that Centaur, but all right.
It's not necessary.
Not necessary. I mean, of course it's necessary. It feels so good.
It does. That is probably one of the most satisfying things in Dota when you dunk someone like that. That and like a really good Echo Slam, right?
Echo, yeah. Not as
especially with the new what is it, the Starfall set or whatever?
With the Arcana,
yeah,
right?
with the Arcana. Awesome every single time.
I'm sad it's not as strong as it used to be, but there you go.
Courier.
That's what he was saying.
And the X coming out here. They're going to try to get the kill onto Insania. Boat connects. Need a little bit more damage. That arrow right at the last second. He's going to burn to death.
He just moved back into it. You know, some players, they're like magnets for arrows. It's like something in your mind. It makes you move back into it. Like, he just likes arrows. That's what it is.
He's just used to the old timing. He figured, oh, I'm going to be fine if I duck right now. Top lane again, they're trying, mid lane, trying to get the jump over here onto Koif, but not going to be able to land the arrow.
Yeah, if you remember that BKB.
Damage coming out, the jump forward coming out from Universe too. As that blade mail up, it doesn't even matter, he's stunned up.
He just died under his tier 3. Now Boxy as well.
Boxy's got to use the Stampede to run out. He can't afford this damage here.
Oh man, if your Centaur is falling that easily,
scary.
You bought back your Dragon Knight, but he doesn't have ulti. Can you even fight this?
Oh, arrow into Tauren. Taiga's going to be stunned up a little while here. Boat coming through. We're landing one more hit.
He's going to be more than stunned. He's going to be sent to the fountain.
He did, absolutely. Nice soulbind getting thrown out here. Boxy jumping forward, manages to find Universe. Universe, he's going to tank a lot of that damage. It's going to get taken out by Mickey, and now it looks like NIP going to have to retreat. They no longer have Universe. They don't want to take this fight, but you know what's in that bottom river right now that they're going to find?
That's the double damage, but PPD might destroy it as...
I think you wait patiently, you see if anybody comes out, you get a disruption.
That's
you can see Gunnar making his way over. Ooh. King Swell, there's going to be drag form before Steph comes out. So to be able to land that stun. X getting thrown again. The rest of the team, they're chasing after Gunnar. They want to make him pay for that rune here.
I'm not so certain you want to dive under this shrine. At best, what you do is you take down PPD and you go for the bounties.
And they get him, though, is the question, because that's a beautiful torrent. Going to drop right on top of Mickey. He can't afford to get taken down. And the double damage, then the BKB. They take him out. Boxy now trying to run himself away from Gunnar. Doesn't manage to get the stomp. Still getting chased by Biver. They need some more backup here. And again, he is very, very tanky. Manages to blink out in time.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a quick pick off on PPD, but instead they end up losing their jug again.
You're in such a sad spot when you're chasing a Shadow Demon and you lose your position 1. That's a pretty rough spot to be in if you're Liquid, but yeah, they had to take that chance. At least they got a couple of bounties. That's something, but they're definitely losing this game hard.
That's a consolation prize.
It's such a consolation prize.
I gotta say, these arrows have been really on point.
Yeah, it's not like they're lacking setup for the arrows, but it's not like he's been using these setups all the time as well.
Yeah, he's found some really good openings. And then, of course, Universe is just, his timing is so good. Yeah. What I come to expect from him, seeing from him playing, especially like back in the Faceless Void days. Remember those days?
Yep.
It feels like a million years ago.
Definitely makes me think and feel old. Thank you,
You're
Moxie.
a baby. You are an infant child. My sweet summer child. You don't know what it means to be old. Bottom tower. Going to get some pressure placed down here. I don't think they want to try to defend this at this time. I think you're going to hold high ground.
Can you even hold high ground? That's the question.
That is a big question.
In that last fight on the high ground, you lost your Dragon Knight. He bought back. You lost Lion. You used everything that you had, and you only took down Universe. He created a universe of space in that team.
Nice.
No, I'll show myself out.
Get out of here, Weeb. Anyway.
Weeb?
You like Dragon Ball Z? You like Dragon Ball Z? That's an anime. You're a Weeb.
That's not an anime.
It's definitely an anime.
EBZ is gachi and it's manly. I love EBZ.
They do have that Ags picked up now for the Lycan, so I'm excited to see how this plays out. I don't know if they're even going to have enough time to really show it off, right? Like,
yeah,
it feels like this game's going to end in the next.
Yeah, I don't feel like that Aghanim's is necessary at all in this kind of a game. I think it's like, it's all right, but it's not necessary. I think getting that AC earlier would be better for them, but Kunkka can get it too.
These are such slow-looking wolves, though, right?
Like, yeah. 3 wolves on each lane feels good. The Aghanims on the Lycan, what it allows you to do is just farm so fast.
I mean, he's already farming quite fast.
And he's already in full control of this match. That's the thing. Like, once Lycan gets that tax, you can expect 5 minutes of farm, and then suddenly he's 6-slotted. That's why this item is actually good. Like, I know not too many players love it at the moment. It's not really the most popular item, but I think we might see a rise when it comes to the pickups of Aghanims on Lycan.
Well, if they start playing it in these matches like this and it's successful, I think we'll definitely see a rise.
Yep. I mean, in a match like this one, he could have bought a Dagon and it would still work. Still, game is not over yet. Only one side down, only 1 Rags down, actually, Liquid.
They are 10k behind, though, which is definitely not a comfortable spot to be in if you're Team Liquid.
I mean, Team Liquid, just a few months back when they were still playing under Alliance, they would be 40k ahead and they couldn't close up games, so 10k.
Wow, that's some shade, Lizard.
Nah, I mean, everyone knows it. That's what they were known for.
Yeah.
But they improved on it.
They did.
Yeah.
They did. Ooh.
Oh, that blink. That's the movement speed nerf to the arrow.
Yeah.
That's what they were talking about.
You can see it coming if you're not hiding over there. So it looks like we're going to stop, take a little bit of a breather. We've got a Desolator queued up for the Lycan.
Yeah, the AC is completed on Kunkka, so that makes a lot of sense. Next item for Lycan is Desolator. One of the good facts, one of the good things why this Aghanims is good on Lycan is you can basically use it, right? You can buy the recipe, use the Aghanims, infuse it, and because of that it opens up another item slot. So,
how many double damages has Gunnar gotten today?
Every single one so far. 100% double damage rate.
There has been so many of them. He's got another one bottled up, say for a rainy day or for taking high ground.
Also moving towards the Halberd, which will help versus the Chug versus the DK.
Oh, the jump forward again, Universe. Looks like he found himself Mickey. This is not good. Does have the healing ward up, and then comes Insania. They'll get a Finger of Death off. Oh, nice save, though, coming out from Peter. We'll be able to keep Universe alive just a little bit longer. Not long enough, though, unfortunately, as he is going to buy back. He wants to be a part of this. Now, BKB's popped over on Koifa and Boxy. Boxy, he's looking, trying to get over there fast enough. Has Skeeter in his sights. They want it. There's going to be the boat thrown out, though. Triple kill for Gunnar as he's able to take down Insania. Taiga also buying back. That's 3 buybacks on the side of Liquid. Viber waiting patiently. Koifa turns back around, runs right into Gunnar. He's pretty tanky, though. Mickey puts out a decent chunk of damage with the Force Staff, moving him up to high ground. Jump in again from Universe. Ultra kill for Gunnar. And he's not even done yet. He wants more. That Blink Dagger is on full down, but there's going to be a beautiful arrow with that Expo Rampage coming out from Gunnar. And it looks like they're not even done yet. There's a kill for Universe, giving out kills everywhere. The GG gets called. NIP taking game number 1.
Gaben was giving Gunnar double damage after double damage until he delivered with the Rampage and closed this game out in such a cool fashion. Man, NIP, they're quite fresh when it comes, like,